Hai Miss, kapan budaya? Kami dari kelompok
Satu.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Masato.
Nama saya Enrique.
Nama saya Jervin.
Nama saya Richmond.
Nama saya Lulu. Nama saya Melisa.
Hari ini kita akan membahas mengenai topik peran agama Buddha dalam mengatasi tindak korupsi yang sedang marak terjadi. Selamat menonton.
Firstly, in background, let's recognize what corruption is. Corruption comes from the Latin word corruptio and from the verb corrumpere, which means rotten, corrupt, and perverse. In literal meaning, corruption also means rotten, corrupt, bribable, immoral, and perversion. And from the above explanation, it can be concluded that corruption is a form of immoral actions that deprive others of their property or money, which can harm oneself, family, community, nation, and state.
Buddha explained that an event does not happen by chance, and everything has a cause and effect. Related to the occurrence of corruption, in principle, it can be explained that the cause of corruption is rooted in greed. Lobha, hatred, dosa, ignorance, moha. Greed makes people dissatisfied with what they have. Hatred gives rise to jealousy that dislikes the wealth of others and want to become rich without working hard. And ignorance makes them unaware that all material things are impermanent and are filled with wrong feelings.
In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said, wealth acquired by laboring hard, gathered with one's own hand and sweat lawfully, is useful for developing and maintaining one's own happiness, for nurturing and making one's parents happy, thus making one's employees and subordinates happy. Based on the above, we can relate Buddhism's role in fighting corruption to one of the 8 factor noble path, namely right livelihood.
Fighting corruption is one way of right livelihood. Since corruption is an evil act that takes away other people's property, which is usually money, we are not practicing right livelihood. So, we must earn money or a living by not harming others, such as corruptions, working well, and in accordance with religious morals, so that earning a living can be said to be right livelihood.
Since corruption is an illustration of the moral decline of the nation, the Buddha also emphasized that the second and first Buddhist precepts to overcome this corruption, because the aspects of the second and first precepts focus more on the action of the precepts. The second and fourth precepts read, I resolve to train myself to avoid taking things that are not given, and I resolve to train myself to avoid false speech.
In the Buddhist view, corruption stems from greed, hatred, and ignorance. The role of Buddhism in dealing with corruption is that the Buddha taught the importance of avoiding immoral acts, including corruption, by promoting the principles of honesty and justice in the acquisition and use of wealth. This can be done by applying the second and fourth Buddhist precepts, which teach to avoid taking what is not given and speaking what is not true, to be key in fighting corruption and building a just and moral society.
Sekian presentasi dari kelompok 1. Thank you, Miss.